when I got to know them, I was like, oh my God, can't believe I just gave you that advice. You probably already know that. Hey friends, welcome back to episode 80. My gosh, we're on 80. Look, the other day I woke up at 5 a.m. and no, this is not a normal thing for me. Although the idea of being sort of part of the 5 a.m. club is quite intriguing. I don't know if you guys have heard about that. I think it's Robin Sharma who announced that, and there's like a whole app, the 5 a.m. club. Look, no, it's not normal for me. So when I do it, and especially it's on a Saturday morning, it means I'm doing it for a reason. So I joined this private networking call with Kevin Thompson, who I just interviewed in the last episode. So make sure that you go back and check that out because it was incredibly valuable conversation. And through meeting him, I knew that I wanted to be exposed more to his networks as well. So the call was at 5 a.m. He does these calls every now and again, sort of these mastermind types of calls. And it was 5 a.m. because they were basically all based in the States and it was their Friday. So, yep, woke up at 5 a.m. on a Saturday. And in my quest to let go of the how, like I've spoken to you guys about this in my goals for 2024 podcast, as well as the 8 tips of how I'm going to get to those goals. A big part of that is to let go of the how, constantly being obsessed with how do I do it? How do I do it? And also, so with that quest of letting go of the how, but also rediscovering my passion in my business and what I do, I'm saying yes to more opportunities that are like these calls and moments where I can be more vulnerable. Because it's hard for me. I think it's hard for most of us, right? To actually really be open and honest about where we need help and where we're struggling with things. So I had this call. It was 2.5 hours my Saturday morning. And I wanted to share some of the themes that came up for me in this call because I thought you guys might find them helpful as well. On my quest as well to forever be looking for ways to have a more balanced life and to enjoy my life more and to enjoy my business more, I just have a feeling that maybe some of these things will help you too. So there's 4 things that I really learned on the call or 4 themes that came up for me on the call. And the first one was to ask for help. Yes, be honest when you need it. And let's be honest with each other. You pretty much probably need it a lot. I mean, unless you're a solopreneur and you're happy to stay a solopreneur, if you are growing a business and you have a team and you want to grow that team and that business, you cannot do it by yourself. You're going to need to ask for help. Be honest about what you're not good at as well. One of my big ego things this year is going like, yeah, there's definitely things in digital marketing with my business, Website Love, that I'm very good at. But there's things I'm not. And why should I keep trying to learn them and buy courses for them? Like, why? I don't need to. I have a team. I'm growing my business. I'm scaling right now, like you guys, a lot of you guys. So yeah, be honest with what you're not good at. Be okay with it and ask for help from team members or other resources to accomplish those things. And be honest about what you don't want to do either, because then you're obviously going to ask for help around the things that you don't want to do. So number 1 was asking for help. And that was a big part of this call, this sort of networking mastermind call that I was a part of. There were 4 of us on it with Kevin, the host. And all 4 of us were there basically to help each other and to ask for help. And in the episode before, you'll hear a good conversation that we had around understanding how to ask for help, but also being open to receive and how so many really successful people struggle with receiving. So that was a big part of the call. It was, asking for help, but being open to hearing great advice from these other amazing people on the call. So number 2 was be around good people, of course. There are incredible people on this call, but it got me thinking about how that's an important theme in my life as well. I've recapped, I've told you guys the story in the past of moving to Australia, and there's sort of this pivotal moment when I was out, working at a Tony Robbins event up in Brisbane, Gold Coast area of Queensland in Australia. And after the event ended, I was with this incredible group of people, and I kept hearing the Jim Rohn quote, "You are the average of the 5 people that you spend your time with." And that was a big eye-opening moment for me that I needed to be around more incredible people than probably what was in my current peer group at the time. So that's big, right? So really, that's always been a theme in my life, I suppose, is to revisit the people in my life. And are they incredible? Do they drive me forward? Do they bring out the best in me? Do they challenge me? It's also why I started this podcast. I mean, two reasons. One is to, reach out my business network and perhaps have referral partners back and forth. Some of us, share business back and forth. When it's aligned really well, there's a few people that I've had on the show where they're like, "Oh, I'll just send my clients to you," and vice versa for them, right? So that's a big reason. But number two, also equally as important, is the community that comes with it. I very carefully select the individuals that I interview on this show for a reason, because I want to get to know them and I would love to have them in my network. So that's important. Um, Also, being around good people. The other day, I had a team call, my first team call, like where my core team, we all got together and we spoke about the year ahead and our roles and what's happening for the company. And I had this moment on that call, and I was like, wow, what an amazing group of people that I'm surrounded by. And I think that's something for you guys to think about too in your business. Are you proud of your team? Like, do you look at them and where they shine and their gifts and their strengths and how they complement each other and how they do things that is their gift but not yours? Like, do you look at them and are you like, wow, my team's amazing? So that's also something that came to my mind in this call. And also it's why I go to conferences and why I also want to run my live events this year, is because you can be around incredible people. So number two, be around good people. Number three, sometimes it is good to not know the backgrounds of the people that you're talking to. And you're not going to know that at conferences, are you? But on this call, what Kevin did, which was really cool, was we didn't actually know who's going to be on the call with us. He just puts these networking calls together because he loves $1 million relationships. And he literally was just like, here's going to be 3 other amazing individuals in addition to you, Heather. You're not going to know who they are. That's on purpose, because I want you to come and be open on the call and not come in with any, prejudgments or sort of, oh, this person's better than me, or this person's not where I am, etc. Right? So smart. And such an important theme and reminder for me, no matter where you go, whether it's the grocery store down the street or it's to a conference or whatever, you're in a webinar with a group of people, you won't know them unless it's the keynote speaker and you've read their bio, right? Or your friend's coming with you. You won't know them, and you'll never know the incredible people that might be sitting right next to you. And everyone is incredible, right? We all have amazing stories and wisdom to share. So just keep in mind that you never know who's sitting next to you, and always to be open and honest and offer value to every person that crossed your path. And number 4, give openly. Give openly. It was, like I said, really helpful not knowing who the people on the call were, because I could share ideas openly with them. I wasn't sitting there questioning if I was like total amateur or if they already know all the things I'm going to share with them. It was just a really good reminder with these very successful people that they too have asked for help and don't know how to do things themselves. That's why they were on the call. They were open to ideas. And by the way, there were some really successful people on the call. When I got to know them, I was like, oh my God, can't believe I just gave you that advice. You probably already know that. But do you know what was interesting is that being openly giving to each other, it was like the egos went out the door, and it was such a really good environment. I don't know. It just is still sitting with me, right? And I'm going to be reaching out to the guys that were on the call and hopefully get a couple of them on this podcast, because they have incredible journeys in business themselves. So 4 things that came to mind on this 5 a.m. wake up for me were: ask for help. You can't do it alone, you guys. Be around good people. Sometimes it's okay to not know the backgrounds of the people that are around you. And in actuality, kind of equalizes the playing field, where you don't have to kiss somebody's ass because you're like, oh, they're like, they have this huge company, or they're going